All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk to you about the CPI data that just came out, how it's affecting the market, how it's affecting Bitcoin, and how I think it's going to lead to this rally. Yes, the rally that I have been talking about. So if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if you could smash the like button, it really helps the channel out a lot, and I appreciate it. Lastly, you can join the channel and become a member by hitting the join button on the YouTube page. It should be right next to the subscribe button. If you don't see it, there should be a link below. Members get some members-only content. In addition to that, we do a once-a-week members-only live stream, which will be today after the market closes on Tuesday. Also, the members get to pick a stock once a week for me to do a deep dive on. So we'd love to have you there. I'm going to start with the CPI report. Okay, so this is an overview before we get to the report. This is important. So we had a beat. In other words, the CPI data came in better than expected. So that was crucial. It was a gigantic drop. We were expecting a big drop, and it was even bigger than expected. So this is really good news. I do think this number is going to be getting better and better. I have my reasons. I'm going to do a separate video for that, but I think by probably March of 2023, this report is going to look drastically better than it does right now. So again, that's my personal opinion, and I will do a separate video on that. So if you look, the consensus was that we were going to come in at 7.3 this month. Well, we came in at 7.1. So that's on the top line. So you can see we peaked in June at 9.1. So we've been steadily going down, although some of these months were worse than expected. So the thing is, the last 2 months have been better than expected, and this month is a significant decrease. Okay, economic news release. So this is the actual consumer price index summary. Okay, consumer price index, November 2022. The consumer price index for all urban consumers rose 0.1% in November on a seasonally adjusted basis after increasing 0.4% in October. The U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics reported today, the last 12 months, the all items increased 7.1% before seasonal adjustment. So that's the 7.1% that we just looked at. The market was expecting 7.3%, which already would have been a very good report, and it came in below that at 7.1. The index for shelter was by far the largest contributor to the monthly all items increase, more than offsetting decreases in energy indexes. So in general, we know the prices of energy have been coming down, so that helped this report. Shelter has been stubborn, and that is the biggest piece of this entire report. 30% of the weighted average of this index is shelter, and we're going to take a look at the shelter number. That has been stubborn, but again, this is the one where I think that's going to really change, and I think it's going to take about another 90 days before that change kicks in, but then we're going to start to see, in my opinion, some really good CPI reports, and that's what's ultimately going to lead, in my opinion, by the middle of next year, the Fed will be lowering rates, and it's going to be for that reason. Okay, the index for all items less food and energy rose 0.2% in November after rising 0.3% in October. So that was a beat. They thought it was going to be 0.3. It came in at 0.2. The all items index increased 7.1% for the 12 months ended November. This was the smallest 12-month increase since the period ended December 2021. So this is the smallest increase we've had in the last 1 year. So this is a breakthrough. This absolutely gives the Fed all the cover they need for a 50 basis point rate hike tomorrow. So that's the other good news. These come back to back. So with this being good news, it is highly likely that that's going to be good news. I just don't see a scenario where they can do more 75 basis points or less 25 basis points. Both of those things make absolutely no sense at all to me at this point, based on what they have said and the expectation that they've set up for tomorrow. So for those reasons, mainly based on what Chairman Powell said a few weeks ago, it really seems like there's almost certainty there's going to be a 50 basis point hike tomorrow. If there is not, if it is different, if it's lower than that, the market is going to rage. If it's higher than that, the market is going to get beat up badly tomorrow. So I think those scenarios are highly unlikely, so I wouldn't worry about it. Food is up a little, energy's down a little, and I'm not going to dissect this because it doesn't really matter. Essentially, from the big picture, food's up a little, energy's down a little. And then when we go to some of the other big line items, new vehicles was at 0. So that's the best it's been all year. New vehicles were going up all year long. So used cars and trucks is down 2.9. It was down 2.4 last month, so this is starting to really pick up momentum. Used cars were through the roof in the first half of this year, so this has been cooling off. That's a big part of what is helping reduce this number. So the price of vehicles is coming down. And then, of course, we know the price of shelter. The price of shelter was still up 0.6%. That number did come down. It was 0.8% and 0.7 and 0.7. So this is the best we've had in several months. It's trending in the right direction, but this is still not exactly where they want it to be. I do think this will be a little stubborn for a few more months, and then we're going to see this move where we want it to move. Overall, this is an absolute beat. Let's see what this did for the market. Okay, so when we're just about a half an hour into the trading day as I'm recording this, the S&P is up 2.38%. The Dow is up 1.51%. The NASDAQ is up 3.31%. So that is a big move up. The Russell 2000 is up 3.33%. That is a big move up. So this is a big move. The Dow tends to be a little more steady, but all the rest of these things made a big move to the upside. And I'm going to take a look at the charts as well, because it's a little bit of a potential breakout here where this rally that I have been talking about, I do think today it looks like this could be the start of the rally, as long as Chairman Powell doesn't say anything strange tomorrow to derail this. It looks like maybe we're going to get this holiday Christmas rally after all. Okay, so this is the QQQ. This represents the NASDAQ on the one-day time frame. So you'll see on October 13th, this got all the way down to 254. So that was the low. That's a few months. That's 2 months ago now. And you can see we've really been trending upward ever since. And today you're going to see a gigantic gap between yesterday was a green day. So yesterday was a good day. And from the close of yesterday to the open of today, there's a gigantic gap upward. So this goes back to September 15th. So this pretty much takes out all the days in between. So that's why I'm saying it's a potential breakout. Now we need to get this green and move up because it's right on the brink here, but this looks like an absolute breakout, and all these charts look the same. If I go to the SPY, which is the S&P 500, essentially you're going to see the same thing. This bottomed out on October 13th at 348. So we're at 407 today. And again, that takes us to this day that we had back here on September 12th. So definitely seems to be signaling a move to the upside. So obviously you can see we have this green line here at 431. We got to that back in the middle of August. So, that would be a potential price target for this rally. So again, this is not financial information, and the day just has only begun. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see if this holds on. But everything that we wanted to happen from a setup standpoint looks like it's happening right now today. Okay, so lastly, this is the Bitcoin chart. And you'll see Bitcoin has had a very clear breakout. This is Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. I have a blue line of $16,875. That's this line right here. This line started on November 30th, so we've been bouncing off of this line all of December in a very, very tight range. You'll see we never even got close to testing this red line here, which is at $17,567. That red line represents the bottom of the flash crash back in June. So as soon as the FTX situation happened, Bitcoin went below that substantially. It has not even gone back to test that. So this morning with the CPI data, you're going to see these 2 4-hour candles in a row. We had a little bump last night, and then the CPI put it over the top, and we are now way over this line. So if this line can hold as support, that would be extremely bullish for Bitcoin. You can see it's headed up to a next significant line of 18,152. So it would be nice to take that out. So I'm just going to close out on the 1 day on Bitcoin because I want to show you guys this was the FTX situation. So we all remember that disaster. So that was only about a month ago. So we were hanging just a few days before that. We were up over 21,000, near around 21,500. We had a couple of days where there was rumors swirling, and then these 2 days was the actual FTX debacle and unraveling. So Bitcoin took a gigantic nosedive and hit a new 52-week low and really a new 2-year low at around 15,588. About a week later, we retested that. We jumped up to about 16,875. That's this blue line that we were talking about earlier, and we have been stuck there for almost 2 full weeks. This was very, very, very sideways. But you can see yesterday was a green candle, and now today has started out as a gigantic green candle. And more importantly, it's taken out this line of resistance. It went right through that. So my number one thing I'm going to be looking for is that it holds that line today. and then we can start to worry. It may retest that, but if it holds, we can start to test some of these other lines and see if we can get this rally going. Okay, so far this morning, across the board, good news. The market is still hanging in there up. The NASDAQ and the Russell are still up over 3%, so we'll see how the day progresses, but this was all about the CPI data. It was better than expected. That's really the headline news here. So I will wrap this up. I will do a video at the end of the day and see how this all worked out. So thanks so much for watching, and you can join me in the next video. Remember, if you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.